of things to harm them, to stop their group. And I think it's about time that we applaud these people. You know, they don't choose it. It's an awareness. We have to be aware. We can't close our eyes and say that this isn't happening and put them in a corner of the society and say, this is the way it is. This is the way we should be.
These people, like this man right here, wants to demand and mandate to you what you will watch on television. He wants to silence. He wants to silence the difference of opinion in this country.
The greatest injustice is coming from the gay militants like them. They refuse to allow people who have a strong moral basis.
To live our life the way we want to live.
People who have a strong moral conscience that we don't have a right to the dictates of our conscience. That's what you're saying. If we have an opinion, when we say it's morally wrong, that we are bigots, that we're insensitive.
Yeah, you're forcing your opinion onto us.
No, you're forcing your opinion on us.
No, we would have no problem if you'd keep your mouth shut.
Reverend, let me ask you a question. If you lived in a multiple dwellings, let's just pretend, you lived in an apartment building, would it upset you if two gay lovers moved in to another unit in the apartment building?
What would that have to do with the show?
What do you have to do with anything?
Well, you said you weren't prejudiced. You said you weren't bigoted.
Well, if I owned the apartment, you mean I had control over it?
No, you're just a citizen there. You live there. Your wife and your dog Spot.
No, if they're going to live in their apartment, they're going to be like anybody else living in their apartment, and they're not going to put on orgies, or they're not going to do all these kind of things, and they're not going to be militant and do all the things that they've done before. No, they have a right to live there and rent an apartment.
You know, Reverend,
well,
you know, it's something interesting happening in this country. It's politically incorrect to bash communists right now. The Cold War is stalling. These people like him need a new enemy. They need a new threat to the American society. And guess who that is? Gays and lesbians.
We are in law.
Phil, what he's just done is used a Pavlov psychological thing to try and disengage a person's mind from the fact that you have a right to choose between what is right and wrong.
Yes,
they want to wear you down, like this dear lady back here.
I agree with that. You have
we agree.
We are.
See, they're trying to overhaul.
We agree with
I'll give you a chance, I promise.
Be gay in peace.
We are in Burbank, California.
Why would you leave St. Patrick's Cathedral alone?
We are in...
Why would you leave Lou Sheldon alone?
Well, why don't you leave us alone?
No, I was in Washington minding my business, 1,000 of you...
And then you came to Orange County and nosed into our business.
Let me just... We are with the Reverend Lou Sheldon, with Robert Bray, the spokesperson for the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, and David Gadberry's self-financed soap opera about gay life. Incidentally, is what's provoked this whole thing here, and if you joined us late, you missed a scene in which there were actually two male characters kissing. And this audience did not like that even a little bit, although I do not presume to speak for everybody in this audience. Let's get that in. I want to make another point. What was it? I can't think of it. It must have been important. Here, listen, who gets on television? How about the Nazis? They get on television? White supremacists get on television?
Yeah.
How many religions get on television? You know, how many more of these guys we're going to have, you know, with their 800 numbers? How many of those people get on television? Well, then, why, if 10% of all societies are gay?
That's an incorrect figure, and I'll tell you about it later.
Should you not be able to express gay life on television in a way that, I want to tell you, they got a character in the soap, a reverend, who's foursquare against gayness, and his name is Reverend Arthur Dimsdale. Is that prejudicial? All right. We'll give this whole audience an opportunity to make its point as we try to figure out how you feel about this and who gets to take over the public airwaves, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I would just... the point just before we went to commercial about the Reverend Arthur Dimsdale, and you said something about prejudicism. None of the characters on this show, either they're gay, non-gay, religious, non-religion, there's always good quality in all people. Just because we have a Reverend Arthur Dimsdale doesn't mean we're portraying him as an evil person. He does have good qualities about himself, just like anybody else.
I am fair.
I would just like to ask the Reverend here what he meant by militant gays, and you pointed to the other two gentlemen.
Well, the militant homosexual community in America very clearly has decided they want to overhaul straight America. They've perpetrated a lie on you saying that 10% of the population is gay and lesbian. And a recent study, the National Academy of Sciences, they've said it's 0.70. How many here are actually homosexual?
According to the gay report by Jay
How many here are exactly homosexual?
Well, I don't know. Where do we get
that figures out.
Where do we get by?
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
Reverend. You said militant homosexuals. The last time I was militant, when I was rooting for the Washington Redskins to win the Super Bowl, which they did. Maybe it haven't done anything since, so maybe it's time more gay and lesbian fans got a little bit more militant.
Over here, if you please.
Yes, in this day and age where we have so many latchkey children, and they come home from school, and the television is their babysitter, television should be setting an example.
Right.
These children look to these programs and these heroes on TV as role models, and what are we saying to our children?
Are you concerned about Santa Barbara as well?
I don't watch those things, but what little bit I have seen, it's all disgusting. It's too explicit.
Let me bring up a point about the children. You know, children are constantly being brought up. Number one, when we distribute this tape throughout the country, we know it is being aired late night evening. Okay, the second point I'm bringing across here is there are children that are future homosexuals. You know, homosexual is here at the beginning of time, they'll be here at the end of time. You know, do you want them to grow up with a negative role model? Do you want them committing suicide? Or do you want them to have, that doesn't work, Lou, and you know it. You lost $40,000 off of your
Over here, please.
therapy. No. Reparative therapy is for real. People can get this for real.
What are we repairing? Let's have reparative therapy for heterosexuals.
What needs to be repaired is bigotry and intolerance.
That's true.
Yes. Please, briefly.
I have a question for you two men. You say you're here to educate us. Are you going to show the emergency rooms and the doctors who have to extract oranges and gerbils from these men who do these disgusting acts behind closed doors? Are you going to show that?
See, again,
That's the truth. You know that's the truth.
Ma'am,
Even
let me say something about
Even
that.
Hallmark in their cards made a joke out of it.
Wait a minute. You want to take the gloves off here? Let's take the gloves off, okay?
You know it's
Okay.
true.
A majority of divorces in this country are heterosexual. A majority of child abuse, incest are heterosexual. We don't bring those up. We don't focus on those. You're focusing on one element of misinformation that you've been brought up.
Because you guys have politicized your behavior.
Yeah.
That's why we have to do this. You have gone out on a limb and said our behavior is a minority status. It's not a minority status. It's nothing to do with that.
Let's hold on.
Aren't we preaching child abuse, not to have child abuse, and a child comes home, turns on the television, he sees two males making love or whatever they're doing, and aren't they the start of the AIDS program, which we're fighting through the United States and all over the country, and we're saying it's okay for maybe your father to come home, take you in the bedroom, and work you over.
No, that's incest.
Point.
That's incest.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Here's a free.
It's really interesting, Phil. I mean, like what this woman right back over here said, implying the promiscuity of gay sex. I've had a lover for a long time, and on the one hand, you're saying, you know, AIDS is being spread by promiscuity. On TV, finally, we have positive gay role models in love and sharing a union, and now you're objecting to that. What exactly is it do you want?
Here is here, let me just show you the still of the scene that we showed a moment ago. Is that possible? This, Secret Passions, is the title of a soap opera which has been produced by a lot of people who want to, is that the, yeah, there's the freeze frame of two males kissing. David Gadberry happens to be the producer, the creator, and one of the actors in this scene. And we showed that at the beginning of this program, much to the disapproval of a significant percentage of our audience. Reverend Sheldon, doesn't it bother you that we have so much gay bashing underway? Does it bother you that we had a guy killed on Staten Island because he was gay?
Here in Los Angeles, it's a big
And it
problem.
seems to be, you know, I wonder, I think it's always the most tentative guys who want to beat up gay people. Do you know what I mean?
I support it very clearly. I just came back from Des Moines, Iowa.
Were
a
you
piece
trying
of
to shut down? Were he trying to shut down a gay and lesbian youth program?
Can I talk without being interrupted?
Sure.
Talking
Go
about
ahead.
injustice, you're very, very rude.
Well, you're about to spread lies.
Reverend.
Now, let me say, I just came back from Des Moines, Iowa,
Yes.
and there we supported a bill that would prevent those individuals from beating anyone for any reason. And in California, we have gay bashing laws against that,
Right.
and I support against that. And if anyone would beat anyone
Right.
for any reason,
But-
they should be
right.
prosecuted in the full degree
Yes,
of the law.
they should, but in the next...
Wait a minute. With friends like him, who needs enemies?
Well-
In Iowa City, he tried to close down a gay supportive
No, it was a
youth suicide
recruitment program. It was a recruitment program
With
for
Operation
schools.
Rescue.
No.
With Operation
Listen.
Rescue. What does that tell
It
you?
was a recruitment program. Project 10 Los Angeles recruits young people into homosexuality. They have a
How do
curriculum
we
that
recruit
teaches
them?
it.
What's the
Explain that
process?
anyway.
Very clearly how they recruit them.
How do we do that?
By saying that homosexuality is a viable life alternative.
Which it is.
Which it is not.
So if I
It's
say that
not.
to a youth,
No,
he's
you're
going to
living
jump...
in denial.
If it's, oh,
Listen,
I am?
yes,
I'm
you're
up
in
here on
total
stage
denial.
saying I'm a
And you're
homosexual. I'm not denying it.
No.
Over here, please.
God give us America. What is becoming of it?
You're worried about it, right?
Right. Hey, she's absolutely right. Do you realize that in this nation, Phil...
Who supports these folks? Yes, all right. Well, please let him know that.
I can't believe the hostility in this room. I feel like I'm in middle America.
You should have been in Washington, the hostility that you rejected on me.
Reverend.
The shoe fits on both feet,
Reverend, with
Reverend,
with all due respect,
we had a meeting, and otherwise they shut us down.
with all due respect, Reverend, I think you're phony. Now, as far as I applaud your efforts. And I
If the
think
truth hurts, I'm sorry.
I have 4 boys, and this room is scaring me a lot, what's happening in this room.
You should feel it up here.
It just absolutely got us trembling here. And I think that there is a problem. There's a couple of things that I think are the issue. Number one is homosexual, and the other is the soap and the degree of intimacy on the soap. And I think a lot of this is being confused. I can remember when the soap was on, and people were going, oh my God, oh my God. But now, I think the thing that's upsetting a lot of people is the degree of intimacy here.
They kissed each other on the lips.
Well, but for a lot of people,
on the other scenes.
no, but for a lot of people, that is
They have anal intercourse.
Oh,
That's
Reverend.
not true.
That's not true.
I said
Hyperbole.
That's
You
what
saw
you
it.
interpreted.
Reverend,
You
when he
interpreted it
got
that
on
way.
the back of that man, what was he doing?
Did you listen to the dialogue? That must have really affected you, Liz, because that's all you
You
talk
see,
about.
Reverend,
Reverend, you're obsessed with that.
what you're doing is you are accusing these people.
No, I'm not. The media is. Did you
Could
read
I
the review of
finish,
it?
please? Could I finish, please? You are accusing these people of sensationalism, and you feed on sensationalism.
But you're a I want to answer your accusation against me, which is this. No, I stand for the truth. 2,000, 5,000
Your truth,
years.
Reverend.
5,000
Here we go.
years.
The world according
Sir,
to Lou
you
Sheldon.
stand
Let me
for
finish the
your
accusation.
truth. You stand for your truth.
No,
We're
no, no,
not up here.
no. 5,000 years of Judeo-Christian truth has never
But
said...
we're not all
said,
Judeo-Christian.
Listen,
You-
Muslims,
you-
you know what the Muslims...
Reverend,
5,000 years of Judeo-Christian truth.
You sit there and you'll choose 1 or 2 events that perhaps gay and lesbians have done, like what happened
1 or 2?
in
Then why do so many have AIDS?
In St. Patrick's
Oh, here we
Cathedral.
So many
Here we go.
heterosexuals have AIDS.
Not 90-some% in California.
It's 70%.
Well,
What's the percent? It's overwhelming.
there's a rising
No, it's
issue
not
of AIDS with
rising. No, it's
heterosexuals, and it's
You
on
know,
a decline with homosexuals.
You know, the same people who object to 2 men kissing or 2 women hugging probably are the same people who are so uptight, who are so easily scandalized at seeing anyone make love or anyone have fun or anyone hold hands.
No.
We're in Burbank, California, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Yes, hi. I have turned off cable movies coming into my home because I was resentful of the sex and violence that my children were able to watch at any time of the day.
Right.
And I do not appreciate it coming on the cable, which is also coming in free, and the children can flip to it at any time. And on top of that, I don't think you will ever get this on regular network, because it would be the kiss of death to any advertising company or any commercial or a cereal company would see to put it on.
You know, Phil, let me just make this point here. Gays characters have made their way